First at 5:30, the search for answers continues as dive teams and aviation experts work to learn how a passenger jet and military aircraft collided over the nation's capital. 67 people believed to be dead. Countless loved ones are mourning. And if you're just joining us, this is 10 Tampa Bay at 5:30. I'm Frank Wiley.
And I'm Dave Wagner. Matthew Torres from our sister station in Washington, D.C. is at Reagan International Airport, close to the Potomac, where the aircraft and chopper went down shortly before 9 last night.
As of this morning, officials say crews were able to recover 27 bodies from the plane wreckage and one body from that helicopter, but those numbers are only expected to go up as the recovery efforts are still underway. Every facet of the flights are going to be closely scrutinized as the investigation into what exactly happened continues. A devastating turn to the deadly midair collision over the Potomac River. The D.C. Fire and EMS chief says he expects not one single survivor.
We are now at a point where we are switching from a rescue operation to a recovery operation. At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors from this accident.
American Eagle Flight 5342 was in its final approach when it collided with a military Black Hawk helicopter on a training flight.
Like a very bright lightning bolt, and then it was just like smoke, and then everything just cleared. 60 passengers and 4 crew members were on the plane, including athletes and coaches of U.S. figure skating. Defense officials say a captain, staff sergeant, and chief warrant officer were in the helicopter.
At this time, we don't know why the military aircraft came into the path of the PSA aircraft.
The new Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, says both aircraft were in standard flight patterns. Not one breakdown in communication with air traffic control. He adds the helicopter was aware of the plane in the area.
What I've seen so far, do I think this was preventable? Absolutely.
But U.S. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia says it's too early to make that call as the NTSB takes over the investigation. He and other lawmakers have been vocal against adding more flights to DCA out of concern the airspace is overcrowded.
We know how busy National is. We know the level of helicopter traffic just because we're the nation's capital that has to be part of the airspace. We express those concerns, but again, there'll be a time for that kind of discussion, but it's obviously not right now.
The airport reopened about 14 hours later. This while crews from multiple agencies search for more victims in 3 different wreckage sites.
I boarded a plane so many times. The feeling is always the same. I know I'll get from one destination to the other, but it's still always scary for me. And the weather today has been easier to handle compared to the frigid conditions that the search crews dealt with overnight. Here at the airport, flights are picking back up. At DCA, I'm Matthew Torres reporting.